Today we'll be exploring the Black Forest from Capstone Games as we do a solo playthrough here on Legendary Tactics. Now the way the solo game works is that you get all 5 pawns and you basically use this cuckoo clock up here to count the number of rounds. You play 5 rounds till you're done, reshuffle the tradespeople on round 4, and the white meeple can be placed in the same town without paying the resource cost. So that's basically how it works. I like to get my glass blowing operation up to speed as quickly as possible. So I'm going to go here. I like getting those extra lands and those extra forests. It gives you plenty of options. So I'm going to go right there. I'm going to take 1 sand per lake, of which I have 2, and I'm going to spend 3 brick to get 2 steps on the glass blowing operation track. So this gives me 2 sand there, which allows me to shift my dial, and I already have 1 glass if I'm looking to buy a building. And I'll spend the 3 brick to get the 2 steps on the glass blowing track. Next up, I think I'll take a wander over here, go here. This way I can get another field, and also I can get some charcoal and get some extra glass. I'll spend the wood for the charcoal first, and that again shifts the wheel over, and now I've got 2 glass to work with, which is great. And I now can buy any building except for the big ones, which I like to do. I like to give myself options. The higher glass buildings are also worth more victory points at the end of the game as well. And I will take a field. We'll put it right down here. And this is why I like to get fields and lakes early if I can. I'm going to go here next. This gives me 2 of any resource, and I can get some porridge. And because I've got the 3 fields now, that's pretty decent. So I'll take the 3 porridge first. That shifts the wheel here. We want to get to revealing these jobs as soon as possible to give me a good idea of what I want to work towards. You want to get those bonuses if you can. They're a big bump up on the track. Oh, and also I forgot to spend the provisions. I'll spend those 2 for my 2 movement. I'm gonna have to. I always keep forgetting the provisions when I move. So anyway, for those of you who might have corrected me there, I've got everything sorted now. And now because I can take 2 of basic resources, I'm going to take meat, and this is going to actually trigger the jobs, which is good, and gives me maximum provisions for movement. Okay, the 3 jobs are this one here, 7 porridge for a bunch of glass and fields and stuff. That one's actually a pretty good one. That one's placed right there. Next up, we have this one here, 3 fields in exchange for a couple of pastures and some animals. This is an end game play, probably in the last turn. This one gets placed with the money bags right there. We were matching this symbol. And the final job is the castle one. This one's right in the center of the board. 5 sand for 5 porridge, 2 glass, and 3 steps on the glass track. That one's a great one, and it's placed right here in the middle. I like it because sand is, for the most part, not the most useful resource, and this is a great way to justify building it up. For my next move, I think I'm going to take this one, which gives me a cow, and I'm going to trade in a charcoal for 4 brick. So the cow is going to go in this pasture here, and I will gladly trade in 1 charcoal for 4 brick. For my last move of the turn, I'm going to go here. I'm going to sell a field to get some wood, and then I'm going to use that wood to buy a building. So on my estate, I'm going to get rid of this forest, and I'll take the 4 wood. There's a few of the small buildings I like, but I think this one is the one I'm going to get for now. So this gives, whenever I move the caravan, it's 1 porridge per field. So that's going to be 3 porridge per caravan move with my commodity. I think that's going to be pretty useful. Porridge can be a bit of a tricky commodity to get. So I'm going to spend my 3 wood, 2 glass, and 3 brick for that one. Very expensive, but I think it's going to pay off long term. And I think I forgot to spend the provision from that last move as well. Now we advance the cuckoo clock and grab our meeples back. For my first move this turn, I think I'm going to go right here, and that's going to give me a new estate and a new lake. So first of all, I'll spend the brick. I'm going to put my lake here and bump up my glass operations so I get a new estate here. Okay, the new estate goes here. We're going to bring the glass tile over, and we're going to add a couple of forests there. Okay, next up we're going to spend the caravan, and because of our building, that gives us 3 porridge, which is going to be very useful. So we're almost at the point where we can get that that job which costs the 7 porridge. It's going to take a lot, but we'll see if we can pull it off. So we're going to switch these 2 here. Okay, and then I'm going to use my white pawn right here. This gives us 3 water per lake. I've got 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to take another couple of porridge here. And that's going to get me close to getting that job done. Next up, I'm going to move up to this space here. That's going to give me 1 porridge per cow and 1 sand per lake. Might be a bit inefficient, but it'll get me to the maximum amount of oatmeal and I can complete that job. And please note I am spending my provision as I was supposed to. I'm going to add 1 sand per lake, which is 3. This shifts the dial again. I'm hoping to get to 5 sand as soon as possible so then I can complete that other job that needs doing. Then I'm going to take my 1 porridge per cow, and now we can aim to do that job. So we next move to take care of that job down this path. It's only 1 provision to get there, so I will spend that before I forget. And then we spend all 7 oatmeal. Now this gives us the 1 glass. There's 3 pigs, a lake, and oh my, it's going to be tough to. I'm going to have to chop down some trees to make room for all this stuff. So fortunately, we're going to have just enough room to house all this stuff. So we get a lake, a pasture, and a forest. And we get 3 pigs. We'll just store them in the pasture for now. Got to chop down some forests. For the last move of this turn, I think I'm going to wander down the road and go here. This allows me to butcher pig or cow for some meat and gets me some oatmeal. So I have 3 fields, so it gives me 3 oatmeal. And I'm going to choose to butcher my cow here for 3 meat. And hopefully I'll be able to just add animals from now on, now that I've got a pretty good amount there. Going to need to get some more wood and charcoal. That'll be my focus next turn, so I can keep moving things up. And I'll need to probably add some brick as well at some point to get another building. The cuckoo clock advances once again, and we pull our meatballs back. Now my first 2 moves here I think are going to be pretty easy. This first one is going to be there to add a cow and to sell a forest. So we're going to put that cow back here, and we're going to get rid of this forest here for 4 wood. Okay, 4 wood right there. All right, for my next move, I'm going to go here to get another cow. It's also going to allow me to get more brick in preparation for buying another building. Cow's going to go up here with his little friend. Now I'm going to sell my only charcoal for 4 brick. And charcoal is really the only thing holding up my advancement at the moment. So I'm going to spend my last commodity here. That's going to give me a boost of 3 porridge because I've got 3 fields. That's going to allow me to switch these ones here. I'm going to bring the charcoal generating tile closer to me. And then I'm going to move there. This, of course, costs me 1 provision, but now I can spend 1 wood for 4 charcoal. And that gives me a little bit more leeway when it comes to provisions and such. And I'm also going to take the other tile here, which gives me 1 water per lake, which I have 4 of them now. First of all, I'm going to rearrange the pigs here to go into the different forests. And now I'm in range of this spot here, so I'll take the woods per pig, and the lakes are going to give me some sand. So this takes me up to 6 sand. That's more than enough to complete the job, and I'll take another 3 wood as well. Once again, charcoal is the only thing holding me up at the moment. This move also, of course, cost 1 provision. But before I complete that job, I've got to get rid of some of my resources so I get the most benefit. So I'm going to take the time to head here. And I almost forgot that cost 1 provision to move there. So I get a pig, I'm going to place that pig there, and I'm going to trade in this forest for a wood and a building. There's the wood, maxes that out. And the building I want to get is the Beech Nut Gatherer's Hut. Not too expensive for 4 victory points, but it gives me a pasture, and now each forest can house 2 pigs, so that's a big advantage. So I'm going to place that one right here, and I'll take my pasture and I'll put that right here as well. And the building, of course, cost 1 wood and 2 glass. Now this is where it gets interesting as we move into round 4. All the tradespeople are going to be scrambled, and of course we'll pull our meeples back, and we'll see what the new situation is in a minute. So I've done the round 4 scramble, and things look a little bit different now. But that said, I'm still laser focused on completing that job. So I'm going to start here, get a cow and a couple of resources. And because I want to keep the animals going, I think meat's going to be the toughest resource for me to get. So I'm going to take 2 free of that, and I'll take my cow. And the cow's going to go here in the new pasture created by the empty glass blowing place. And then I will go to complete that job, spending 5 sand for all that. Now, before I forget, I'm going to spend that provision, and I'm going to spend 5 sand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's great. And I'm going to get 5 oatmeal. I lose 1 on that exchange, but that's okay. 2 glass, and my glass blowing operation gets a bit bigger. So 1, 2, 3, and it transfers to a new spot here. I don't know if I've ever had a game where I've had this many forests. I mean, it's a great problem to have, I guess, but they do take up a lot of space. So that completes that job then. So next I'm going to spend one of my commodities, and that's going to shift the dial up a little bit more. And I'm just going to switch these 2 here. This one's going to give me the ability to buy more animals, and I can get rid of a woods here. So I'm going to take my white pawn, so I don't have to spend a resource, and go right there. And that's going to lead to some interesting possibilities. First off, before I forget, spend the provision. Then spend 1 porridge and 1 water. And I get 1 of each type of animal. Then I'm going to sacrifice a forest. I'm just going to give myself the resource now. So I guess I'll sacrifice this forest here. I can take 2 pigs per forest now, and I'm going to put the extra cow here, and I get to buy a building. This is not a direct play necessarily, but it will give me some victory points. So 3 brick and 2 wood, and because I have 2 pastures, I get 3 cows. So that costs 2 wood and 3 brick. And I guess I'll just put it right here. The 3 cows I receive are going to go right into that pasture right there. My next move is to head down the road to here. Going to be able to buy another pasture with a wood, and I can sell wood for some charcoal. So the wood for the charcoal, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. And then another wood for the pasture. And I'll put the pasture right here. And of course I forgot to spend the provision, so I'll do that now. And also this dial spins, giving me 3 glass to spend, and I'm going to spend that on a big building. I'm going for a big building and lots of animals and pastures. That's my end game here, and I'm hoping to cash in that last job, which where you trade in your 3 fields for some animals and a couple pastures. So that's my last or second to last move. Okay, this next move is going to cost me a resource because I'm not able to benefit by switching anything around here with commodities. So I'm going to do that. I'll give up a porridge. I have a feeling I forgot to take the porridge benefit from that building that I had, but I'm not too worried about it. It's just something that we needed to happen. So I get any 2 resources. I'm going to take a charcoal. I'm going to spend a charcoal from over here to get 4 brick. And now we head into the final round. So first up, I'm going to take my move here. That's going to allow me to get more livestock, as well as building a building and also getting rid of a forest. So we'll do the livestock one first. That's 1 porridge and 1 water for 1 pig and 1 cow. We're almost overpopulated at this point. If it wasn't for that 1 building, it'd be very tough to accommodate all these animals, but as it is, we're okay for now. Then I'll sacrifice this forest. Gonna take 1 wood, and the building that I'm gonna buy is one of the big ones. It's actually this one. It's gonna be 3 glass, 3 brick, and 3 wood. And I get 7 victory points plus 1 per set of brick and woods. This has good potential to be a good number of victory points. And we'll stick that building right here. And I will spend 3 wood, 3 brick, and 3 glass. My next move, I'm going to spend the caravan. That's going to give me 3 more porridge. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to switch these 2 over. And then my next move is going to be here. This allows me to get some sand and trade some charcoal for some brick. Before I forget, going to spend a provision. It's actually going to move the dial up. I forgot to do that. Also, it gives me 4 sand. Okay, and I'm going to spend 1 charcoal for 4 brick. Okay, my next move is going to be over here and move this pig here, and this becomes a bit of a power play as I now have 6 pigs in the woods. So that gives me 6 wood and 2 resources of any type that I like. I'm going to take charcoal, and that's going to swing the dial right around to give me 3 glass. And I believe I spent the provisions, but I'm going to spend 1 just in case I forgot. And I get more porridge. Then my next move is to spend 2 provisions to get across to that job. And we'll spend them down here. This spins the dial over. We're doing pretty well on that front. Now this job involves sacrificing our 3 fields, which we will not need anymore anyway. And we get 2 pastures in their place. And we get 2 pigs and 2 cows, which we will split up here. And we're going to have to do some arranging, but I think we've done pretty well on the animal front this game. Kind of getting some good synergies going, that's for sure. Now for our last move of the game, we're going to spend this provision here. I'm going to switch this one here with that one. And then my last move is to go here. This gives me a building, and it gives me wood for pigs in the forest. So we'll do the pigs in the forest first. As you can see, I got 2, 4, 6. This allows me to maximize my wood. And between visits to tradespeople, I am going to move some animals around to various pastures here. We'll see what we can do about maximizing things as far as that goes. Yeah, I think that's all we can do. And my last buy is It's going to have to be the hunting lodge for nice, simple 10 points. I spend 3 glass, 3 wood, and 3 brick. And sadly, I have nowhere to put the pigs, so the 3 woods have to go, and the hunting lodge comes in. Oh yeah, and I don't think I spent the provision on that. So now we go to final scoring. I'm going to use this scoring track here to keep track of things. The first is how much glass. I've got none. The second is based on the points on the cooking wheel. I have 8. I have 2 small estates for 4. Now livestock and estates, I've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Then I have points for buildings. We got 7 there, plus 17, so that's 24, plus 3 because we've got the paired brick and wood. That's a total of 27. And that's where my score ended up. According to the rules, I am a master builder. There's 2 levels higher than that, 60 points and 70 points, Glass Hut Master and Duchess. So I'll have to keep working towards that, but overall I think I had a decent game. So this has been the Black Forest solo game experience. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Legendary Tactics.